call the Board of Commissioners meeting to order Tuesday, October 1st, 2019 at 9 a.m. John, please call roll.
Commissioner Snyder?
Here.
Commissioner Glazer? Commissioner Terwilliger?
Here.
Commissioner Geisler?
Here.
Commissioner Gregorian?
Here.
Commissioner Nothen?
Here.
Chairman Bone.
Here. I'd like to ask Commissioner Terwilliger to lead us in the invocation and the pledge.
Lord, you have entrusted us as stewards of our great community. Please guide our hearts as we make decisions today. We seek you first in all we do. May we always be mindful of our guiding principle of service to Midland County and trust in you always. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Next on the agenda is the approval of the minutes for September 17th, 2019.
Mr. Chairman, I recommend approval of the minutes.
support.
All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, the same. Okay, we will approve the minutes for September 17th, 2019, and move on to acceptance of the bills.
To the Honorable Chairman and members of the Board of Commissioners, general bank claims approved in the amount of $223,468.51 for the weeks of 8/26 to 8/30/2019. Total general fund expenditures were $52,839.22. To the Honorable Chairman and members of the Board of Commissioners, for the weeks of 9/2 to September 6, 2019, general bank claims approved in the amount of $1,774,718.82. Total general fund expenditures were $52,645.08. To the Honorable Chairman and members of the Board of Commissioners, for the weeks of September 9th to September 13th, 2019, general bank claims approved in the amount of $1,885,084.89. Total general fund expenditures were $65,217.96.
Mr. Chairman, I move that we approve the bills.
Support. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, the same. Okay, we will pay the bills, and now we're going to move on to our special program of the day, which is the Employee Appreciation Awards, presented by a committee member, Rob Maxwell.
Hey, morning, Rob. Good morning. My name is Rob Maxwell, and on behalf of Libby Varner, Jessica Gilkins, Audine Tully, and John Kiefer of the Employee Appreciation Committee, I welcome you to the fall 2019 Employee Appreciation Awards. Our first recipient has worked for the county for 41 years. Pam Denton is currently a clerk too in the health department for the Maternal Infant Health Program, a health visiting program that serves high-risk pregnant women and infants. Pam receives referrals from multiple different referral sources in the community and always makes sure that the nurses and social workers receive the referrals in a timely and very organized manner. Pam prepares the client's charts, education materials, and ongoing program documents, and is always one step ahead of the staff, making sure the program runs smoothly and is always willing to assist in any way she can. Pam has also served on the HIPAA committee within the health department, and she is the go-to person when there's a question about access to health care. She also participates in the Project Community Connect annually, assisting community members with a variety of questions and resources. Pam, you may refer to yourself as a paper pusher, but the referring agencies and the families we serve are very fortunate to have you as their first contact when needing assistance or guidance. Pam, because you are so reliable and efficient, the entire staff of the Midland County Health Department is very appreciative of everything you do, and for this and more, we recognize you today.
Yes.
Shelley Krusky started her position in the summer of 2018 after our former immunization nurse left the area. Consequently, she had to learn a serious amount of information in a short time without the benefit of training by her predecessor. She enthusiastically jumped in with both feet, quickly learning all the current immunization recommendations, which can change suddenly, and how to give shots to people of every age. She had to learn our electronic health record and figure out how to customize her schedule to best suit her preferences and style. On top of all that, she had to learn how to order vaccines, and then, after surviving our own site visit, had to be trained on how to conduct site visits for Midland area doctors' offices who give immunizations. These site visits are quite involved. She has to assess the numbers of vaccines given and if they're being given to the correct age group, how many vaccines are being ordered, how those vaccines are stored, and even where the circuit breakers for the vaccine refrigerators are located. I'm not sure I know where mine are. Shelley has handled all this training with efficiency, grace, and enthusiasm. The most important thing to know about Shelley is that she is always friendly, fun, speedy, and empathetic. Because of her enthusiasm, knowledge, and efficiency, our vaccination rate has increased significantly since she started. Her confidence and welcoming attitude goes a long way to encouraging reluctant parents to get all recommended vaccines. Even though she works part-time, she goes above and beyond and is always willing to take our immunization show on the road. The department has done clinics at a Loons game, at West Midland Family Center, the county fair, and area health fairs, just to make vaccines more accessible to anyone who wants them. The folks at the health department know they are extremely lucky that she decided to join their team and hope she'll hang in there for a long time. Shelley, for being a huge asset to our health department and a great influence on your coworkers, we honor you today. Due to medical issues, the nursing supervisors at Pinecrest Farms were short-staffed and relied on resident associate Jessica Thurston to step up and in to the supervisor role for a short time. During her evening shift on Friday, July 26th, because isn't it always a Friday evening, a resident with a severe peanut allergy unknowingly ate a no-bake cookie containing peanuts. When the resident began to react, Jessica calmly and confidently took control of the situation, immediately locating and injecting the resident's EpiPen, and the symptoms decreased. Jessica then used good clinical judgment to contact the resident's family and arrange transportation via 911 EMS to get the resident to the hospital for further treatment immediately. Thanks to Jessica's quick decision-making and assured actions, the resident returned to the facility safe and healthy. Without Jessica's good response, things could have turned out badly for the resident. Jessica, for stepping in during a life or death circumstance, all of Pinecrest, especially the resident who reacted, deeply thanks you, and we all honor you today. Joe Amend has been with the Midland County Prosecutor's Office for over 14 years. During that time, he has handled all kinds of criminal cases, including domestic violence, sexual assault, and probably hundreds of drunk driving cases. More recently, Joe has taken on the responsibility of prosecuting impaired driving crash cases resulting in death or serious bodily injury, as well as our major drug cases, which sometimes include civil forfeiture proceedings. Joe is also a true team player and helps with in-custody warrant reviews, helping review other prosecutors' warrant requests when they are tied up with other cases, and covering last-minute changes in the court schedules. Joe has become our senior assistant prosecutor, handling many of the serious felony cases, as well as helping to instruct and mentor less experienced attorneys and staff. Joe, because of the way you take great care in your dealings with crime victims and witnesses, we recognize you today. Our next recipient was nominated twice. Since Michael Yelzik joined the Midland County Prosecutor's Office in 2015, he has been a true team player. He constantly helps with in-custody warrant reviews in the morning when he is not in court and helps review reports for other attorneys when they are tied up. He has authorized over 1,500 criminal charges in Midland County during this time. Michael also frequently makes himself available to cover last-minute add-ons in court and takes great care representing crime victims and the community's interests in court. Mike is dependable, works diligently, works through most lunches, is compassionate with victims, and takes great pride in his work. In addition to his normal felony caseload, Michael has undergone specialized training for the handling of elder abuse and financial exploitation cases and is part of the Midland County Elder Abuse Task Force Committee, further showing his compassion and pride to help protect citizens of Midland County. He has achieved excellent results in several complicated cases and now helps instruct other prosecutors throughout the state. He's a true asset to the prosecutor's office and the county. On top of all the work he does, Michael also helps to bring the morale up with his funny, sarcastic sense of humor, which is especially helpful in an office that deals with some horrific cases. Michael, your hard work does not go unnoticed. You are truly appreciated by your coworkers and truly deserve this award today. The prosecutor's office is rich in great employees, as they have another double nominee today. Nadine Niderstadt is the legal secretary and receptionist for the prosecutor's office, where she is responsible for answering the main phone line and helping customers in the window. Nadine also prepares all the discovery material sent to the defense attorneys and defendants in a criminal case, processes the daily incoming and outgoing mail, delivers documents to and from the courthouse each day, and processes other legal documents relating to criminal cases. More recently, Nadine has been given the responsibility of working with the assistant prosecutors in reviewing, redacting, and preparing body cam and in-car videos created by law enforcement to be released in to defense attorneys in criminal matters. This is a significant undertaking, as a single video can take hours to review and redact, and Nadine has accepted the task with a great attitude and a team player spirit. This is done all while having constant interruptions from maintaining our front desk and directing phone calls and visiting customers to the appropriate prosecuting attorney or office staff. Nadine, because you are such an asset to the prosecutor's office, we honor you today.
There you go.
Adam Wright started his career with the Midland County Jail in 2006. During this time, Adam has worked as a correctional deputy, is currently assigned as a transport deputy. Adam is organized and focused on continuously learning and developing best practices to manage routine transport of inmates efficiently and effectively. He has a positive attitude and has developed a great working relationship with the U.S. Marshal Service, who recently did their routine inspection at the jail. During this time, the inspecting agency praised Deputy Wright, acknowledging what a great deputy he was and how wonderful he is to communicate with. The agent said that Midland County is one of the best agencies to work with, and that is in no small part to Adam's hard work and dedication. Deputy Wright goes above and beyond his duties on a daily basis. He routinely works over his scheduled hours and will always answer his phone after hours if problems arise. Adam is always willing to lend a helping hand, completes any task asked of him, and does it to the best of his abilities. Adam is a true team player who will help assist anyone to make sure goals are met for the organization. Adam, for being such an outstanding employee, we recognize you today. Deputy Craig Simmons and Corporal Dan Young at the Midland County Jail recently helped in a situation at the jail involving a young girl who was mute and deaf. She had been placed under close observation through the night and needed to be restrained to prevent self-harm. During one of the instances when the deputy was going to get her, she was found unresponsive but breathing. Deputy Simmons and Corporal Young assisted the nurse on duty to keep the girl safe until she was taken to the ER. Craig and Dan demonstrated teamwork in a situation where they could have said, "This is not my job, it's a medical issue." As the nurse was a new employee at the jail, this assistance was doubly important. This is just one example of the spirit of teamwork at the jail. Deputy Simmons and Corporal Young, for your efforts and actions that kept everyone calm and safe during this emergency, we honor you today. And they are not. We'll make sure their plaques get to them. Next, we recognize a group of deputies from the Sheriff Department Road Patrol for their duties as field training deputies for the Midland County Sheriff's Office Road Patrol Division. Deputies Tom Anderson, Brandon Hodges, Jason Brandt, Mark Hale, Brad Staley, Lawrence Barrell, and Kendall Coble each became FTOs during their due to their great work ethic and ability to complete thorough investigations with little supervision. Each of these deputies have taken upon themselves a very important role with the Sheriff's Office as field training deputies for the new employees. The field training deputy impresses upon the new hires the high expectations of professionalism, compassion, integrity, impartiality, and trust, along with knowing the community and the laws they're expected to enforce. Each of these deputies excel at their role as a mentor and a trainer for the new hires. These 7 deputies have been involved in training 4 new road patrol deputies this year, which includes a 16-week FTO program for each new hire. These deputies are examples for all to follow, which is why they were tasked with the duties of training new road patrol deputies. For these reasons, we recognize deputies Tom Anderson, Brandon Hodges, Jason Brandt, Mark Hale, Brad Staley, Lance Barrell, and Kendall Coble today. Lieutenant Shannon Gilboa is in charge of the field training program for the Sheriff's Office. They recently hired 4 new deputies, and he is responsible for making sure they get the necessary equipment, training, etc. to complete the 14-week training program, which in itself is a full-time job. Besides that, he is in charge of shift number 4, night shift, during which he's responsible for the safety of his deputies and the citizens of Midland. Shannon is a great teacher and leads by example. He's always there for his deputies and is always there to lend a helping hand. Without Shannon on the shift, our jobs would be that much harder. Shannon is also second in command on the SWAT team, which means he is in charge of training simulations for the Sheriff's Office. Without this training, it would be very difficult to do our jobs because it gives us real-life training scenarios. Shannon is a great asset not only to the Sheriff's Office, but also to the citizens of Midland County. We couldn't do our jobs as well if Shannon wasn't there. Shannon, because you are a great leader and role model, we present you this award. On Saturday, August 3rd, 2019, Deputy Myron Green investigated a one-vehicle rollover crash where all the occupants fled the scene. While investigating the scene, a loaded syringe, which likely contained illegal drugs, was discovered and placed into evidence. Deputies Green investigations and led him to interview many people, which eventually led him to the suspected driver, who was also a parole absconder. Late Monday night on August 5th, Deputy Green, along with Sergeant Jesse Milks, stealthily approached a mobile home residence and observed the suspect through a window, but without a search warrant or consent from the homeowner, they could not enter the building. The attempted contact at the door, the suspect, fearing law enforcement was looking for him, hit the floor and hid under the living room sofa. After about an hour, the suspect came out from under the sofa, low-crawled across the floor, and hid in a rear bathroom. Deputy Green worked for an hour in a torrential downpour and lightning, and was eventually able to reach the homeowner to gain permission to enter the residence. Deputies entered the trailer and went to the bathroom, only to discover the suspect had smashed a hole in the floor and was now under the trailer in the skirting. Deputy Green crawled under the trailer and attempted to grab the suspect, but the suspect kicked out the skirting on the opposite side and crawled out. The suspect took flight but was chased down and caught by Sergeant Milks. The suspect resisted being handcuffed, so Deputy Green had to crawl out from under the trailer and sprint to assist Sergeant Milks in restraining and handcuffing the suspect, who was then lodged at the Midland County Jail. Charges being sought are for careless driving, leaving the scene of a crash, driving while suspended, resisting and obstructing, and parole violations. Deputy Green, for your diligent investigation and persistent, and Sergeant Milks for your excellent work ethic and always supporting your staff, no matter where that takes you and who and what you need to deal with. We recognize you both today. To quote our next nominator, I have worked with Randy Bunting this past season in reconciling our accounts at Parks and Recreation. It has been a crash course for me, as I am not an accountant by trade, nor would I choose to be one. You can see how it could be frustrating for a numbers-driven person to work with me. Randy is a numbers-driven person, and I am glad he is a patient man. When numbers didn't match up, when there was any kind of hiccup, or if there was ever a question, Randy was there to listen, explain, and help figure out where the errant penny or dime was hidden. He's always very quick to answer via phone or email, and he is also kind and helpful in doing so, no matter how many calls or emails he receives. Randy is quick with a smile, wants to get to know you as a person, and is great when it comes to particulars and solving any sort of problem or predicament. At a time when patience and kindness seem to be at a premium these days, Randy exudes these qualities and is a joy to work with. Randy, for all your assistance, being a welcoming presence in Midland County, and for just being a good guy, we thank you with this award. Each year, the county treasurer is obligated by statute to personally serve a show cause hearing notice at every parcel that is in forfeiture. Approximately 400 parcels are served each year. In years past, this involved several days of preparation with many paper maps showing the guesstimate of the location of each parcel. This culminated in 2 weeks of the process server hunting for parcels and calling into the office for assistance. This year, Nathan Fazer of the GIS department was instrumental in creating a GIS map of all the parcels that needed to be posted. Using an iPad, he marked every parcel in green on the map. Using the GPS feature on the iPad, the process server could drive along and know exactly where he was and know exactly where to post each parcel efficiently and accurately. And once the parcel was posted, the color changed to blue, making it easy to see what parcels needed to be posted. It also made it easy to see when there was a parcel in an adjoining township to be posted. That, with the old system, required making multiple trips to the same area. In addition, Nathan created an app that allowed the office to see exactly where the server was at all times, allowing them to track how many were left to post and to determine if he were in an area for too long, which may indicate he was having trouble or possibly in danger. The process was so efficient that it cut off 3 days compared to prior years. Bill Smith, the process server, sang praises for the efficiency of the mapping system, saying he felt safer driving because he didn't need to look at a map continuously to determine where his next stop was. Even though they created all the paper maps as a backup, Bill never had to use them, and in the future this will save us many hours of staff time to get the files ready for posting. After the process serving was complete, Nathan was able to label every picture on the iPad with a corresponding parcel ID number, saving them many hours of trying to figure out manually which picture corresponded to which parcel based on a written description. Nathan is always pleasant and very easy to work with, listening patiently and creating exactly what we need. Bill had this to say about the changes Nathan made. The iPad worked great and was a huge benefit to have with me. Please give the tech guy my appreciation for a job well done. Nathan, your time and effort and talents have saved the office of the county treasurer many hours of staff time and have made the process more efficient and modern. And for that, we honor you today. When the Register of Deeds had to take a time off for surgery and recovery for over 4 weeks, Beth Murray stepped up and performed duties that would not normally be hers to complete. She took on the entire process of verification of the work done on the documents the Register of Deeds office records each day. This is the final step before the records are visible to the public and is the last chance to correct any errors or omissions in the recording process. It is vital to the integrity of the records that this is done meticulously. Since the chief deputy is still in the training process, it was huge that Beth, who has years of experience and a track record of careful and accurate work, was the one to step up and help the Register of Deeds so she could get the surgery she needed. Beth, for stepping up and doubling your job duties and doing it with accuracy and integrity, we honor you with this award. And last but not least, Chris Parrott has served as the billing clerk for the Midland County Jail for the past 13 years. Chris is responsible for answering phones, answering the public's questions, processing bond payments, taking monies for inmate debt, running reports, and handling all of the jail's billing, just to name a few of the tasks she does on a daily basis. Over the last year, Chris has tackled not only her regular position, but also the visitation clerk's position after a medical leave and then retirement caused a vacancy. Chris made extraordinary contributions daily in both these roles and oftentimes would work tirelessly through her lunch break or stayed late. The quality of work she produced remained excellent, and she never complained about doing extra. Chris stepped up to the plate once the video visitation clerk position was filled and was tasked with training the new employee. Chris brings a positive attitude and is always eager to help where she can. Chris, for not shying away from the tough challenge of keeping both positions running smoothly. We recognize you today for your dedication and hard work over this past year.
Thank you.
Thanks, Rob. Good job.
As usual.
Well, thank you all for all you do. Obviously, we have a lot of employees that go the extra mile, and a lot of you out there that are here watching, I know you do it too. So thank you from the Board of Commissioners to everybody out there. We're going to take a 10-minute break now, recess, go into recess, and yes. Oh, everybody please stay for a photo, and we'll do that during our 10-minute recess. Thank you.
Everybody stay for a photo. Who's
Session after our recess for the customer employee appreciation. Now we come to the point in the agenda where I'd ask if there's any public comment on anything that's not on our agenda today. Is there any public comment? Seeing none, we will move on to the first standing committee report. John, would you please read that?
Dated September 27th and properly addressed, ladies and gentlemen, we, your Administration and Operations Committee, recommend approval of the grant award in the amount of $3,200 from the Midland Kiwanis Foundation for the purpose of funding the countywide baby shower. Respectfully submitted, James Geisler, Scott Nosen, Eric Dorian, Administration and Operations Committee.
Commissioner Geisler.
Mr. Chairman, the A&O Committee recommends the adoption of Agenda Item 85-9-19.
Do we have any public comment on this item? Excuse me. Do we have any commissioner discussion? Yes, Commissioner Twilliger.
Just a quick comment that I commend. This is Kiwanis, or is it Kiwanis, Midland Kiwanis? Doesn't matter. I just think it's great that they have an
Midland
ongoing.
Kiwanis.
Midland,
Yeah, that they do ongoing funding for this program, and I'm really thankful for that. Thank you.
Excellent. Any other discussion? John, call roll, please.
Commissioner Terwilliger,
Yes.
Commissioner Geisler,
Yes.
Commissioner Dorian,
Yes.
Commissioner Nosen,
Yes.
Commissioner Snyder,
Yes.
Commissioner Glazer, Chairman Bone.
Yes.
6 yes, 0 no, 1 absent.
Committee report number 2, please.
Dated September 27th and properly addressed, ladies and gentlemen, we, your Administration and Operations Committee, recommend approval of the 2018 Homeland Security Grant Program subrecipient funding agreement with the City of Midland. The term of this agreement coincides with the term of the federal grant program, which is September 1st, 2018 through May 31st, 2021. Respectfully submitted, James Geisler, Scott Nosen, Eric Dorian, your Administration and Operations Committee.
Commissioner Geisler.
Mr. Chairman, the A&O Committee recommends the adoption of Agenda Item 89-9-19.
Thank you.
Furthermore, I would like to ask Jennifer Boyer, our emergency manager, if she would come up and give us a quick little
That's a great idea.
synopsis, including what the function of the fiduciary is.
Okay, so for those that are newer to this, after 9/11, a lot of money came out in Homeland Security grants to help local jurisdictions to build their capabilities locally through training and equipment and those types of things. Well, over the last 12 years or so, that funding has diminished substantially, and at one time, it used to come to each county individually, but in 2016, we started doing it as a regional. So this money actually comes from the state to a Region 3, which is made up of 14 counties in Michigan, from the Thumb up to Oscoda County and down to Genesee County in the area. So money that at one time Midland had to themselves to determine how to allocate and spend, that same amount of money has to be shared between 14 different counties. Recently, the City of Midland has agreed to be the fiduciary for the grant. The state doesn't want to have to deal with each individual county for fiduciary, so they have chosen one fiduciary to represent those 14 counties. So the City of Midland has now signed on to become the fiduciary for the 18 grant, which is what's in front of you. And they also have recently agreed to the 19 grant that will be coming in the future to us once they determine how it's allocated and those types of things. So this is basically paperwork for Midland County to receive the funding that has been allocated to them and expend and seek reimbursement through the City of Midland from the state.
Thank you. Any questions? Thank you, Jennifer.
Thanks, Jennifer.
Good job, Jennifer.
I didn't call for public comment on this item, so I will at this point. Is there any public comment? Is there any commissioner discussion? John, call roll, please.
Commissioner Geisler,
Yes.
Commissioner Dorian,
Yes.
Commissioner Nosen,
Yes.
Commissioner Snyder,
Yes.
Commissioner Glazer, Commissioner Terwilliger,
Yes.
Commissioner Bone.
Yes.
6 yes, 0 no, 1 absent.
Committee report number 3, please, John.
Dated September 27th, 2019, and properly addressed. Ladies and gentlemen, we, your Finance Committee, recommend the approval of a 2% wage increase for both law clerk positions within the Circuit Court as follows. Law clerk second year, 2% increase to $52,404. law clerk first year, 2% increase to $49,497. The 2020 Administrator Controller's recommended budget includes these salaries figures. Respectfully submitted, Scott Noson, James Geisler, and Jeanette Snyder, your Finance Committee.
Commissioner Noson.
Mr. Chairman, the Finance Committee recommends adoption of Agenda Item 86-9-19.
Do we have any public comment on this item? Do we have any commissioner discussion? Commissioner Twilliger.
Yes, with regard to this item, and also I would combine my thoughts with the next item. I do not sit in on finance. I just am looking forward still. I don't know that we've had our strategizing session that would have a 5-year projection for the county budget. I don't know that we've had that yet. So I'll look forward to that as we continue to approve these raises for county employees. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other discussion? John, call roll, please.
Commissioner Dorian?
Yes.
Commissioner Noson?
Yes.
Commissioner Snyder?
Yes.
Commissioner Glazer? Commissioner Terwilliger?
Yes.
Commissioner Geisler?
Yes.
Chairman Bone.
Yes.
6 yes, 0 no, 1 absent.
Committee report number 4, please.
Dated September 27th, 2019, and properly addressed. Ladies and gentlemen, we, your Finance Committee, recommend the approval of a 2% wage increase for the county elected officials as follows. For the county clerk, a 2% increase to $81,231. For the drain commissioner, a 2% increase to $79,482. For the prosecuting attorney, a 2% increase to $126,627. For the Register of Deeds, a 2% increase to $77,499. For the sheriff, a 2% increase to $107,594. And for the treasurer, a 2% increase to $84,625. The 2020 Administrator Controller's recommended budget includes these salary figures. Respectfully submitted, Scott Noson, James Geisler, and Jeanette Snyder, your Finance Committee.
Commissioner Noson.
Mr. Chairman, the Finance Committee recommends adoption of Agenda Item 87-9-19.
Do we have any public comment on this item? Do we have any commissioner discussion? John, call roll, please.
Commissioner Noson,
Yes.
Commissioner Snyder,
Yes.
Commissioner Glazer, Commissioner Terwilliger,
Yes.
Commissioner Geisler,
Yes.
Commissioner Dorian,
Yes.
Chairman Bone.
Yes.
We have 6 yes, 0 no, 1 absent.
Committee report number 5, please.
Dated September 27th, 2019, and properly addressed. Ladies and gentlemen, we, your Finance Committee, recommend approval of the fiscal year 2020 budget for senior services of Midland County as submitted. Respectfully submitted, Scott Noson, James Geisler, and Jeanette Snyder, your Finance Committee.
Commissioner Noson.
Mr. Chairman, the Finance Committee recommends adoption of Agenda Item 88-9-19.
Is there any public comment on this item? Commissioner discussion. John, call roll, please.
Commissioner Snyder,
Yes.
Commissioner Glazer, Commissioner Terwilliger,
Yes.
Commissioner Geisler,
Yes.
Commissioner Dorian,
Yes.
Commissioner Noson,
Yes.
Chairman Bone.
Yes.
6 yes, 0 no, 1 absent.
Committee report number 6, please.
Dated September 27th, 2019, and properly addressed. Ladies and gentlemen, we, your Finance Committee and the Human Services Committee, have reviewed the request to fill a vacant Assistant Prosecuting Attorney position as an APA 2 at a grade of 14, step level 4. We recommend approval of this request and that the Administrator Controller be authorized to amend the 2019 budget in an amount that does not exceed $9,115. Respectfully submitted, Scott Noson, James Geisler, Jeanette Snyder of the Finance Committee, and Eric Dorian, Gay Twilliger of the Human Services Committee.
Commissioner Noson.
Mr. Chairman, the Finance Committee recommends adoption of Agenda Item 90-9-19.
Commissioner Dorian.
Mr. Chairman, the Human Service Committee also recommends adoption of Agenda Item 90-9-19.
Do we have any public comment on this item? Do we have any commissioner discussion? John, call roll, please.
Commissioner Glazer, Commissioner Terwilliger,
Yes.
Commissioner Geisler,
Yes.
Commissioner Dorian,
Yes.
Commissioner Noson,
Yes.
Commissioner Snyder,
Yes.
Chairman Bone.
Yes.
6 yes, 0 no, 1 absent.
That's it for today's standing committee reports. We do not have any RPCs. We do not have any old business, no new business that I'm aware of. So we will go right on to commissioner comments, and let's start with Commissioner Noson.
I have no comment.
Commissioner Snyder.
Just a wonderful program today, and thank you to Rob for the presentation, and the food was wonderful. We have great employees.
Thank you. Commissioner Twilliger.
Yeah, I would concur. As always, this is one of the favorite meetings that we have in the year, this meeting and our December meeting, employee appreciation. So I so appreciate their dedication. We couldn't do what we do and be as effective without all of our employees.
Thank you. Commissioner Geisler.
Yes, I'd like to double what they both have said, that it was a really great turnout today, and that we're all enthusiastic.
Thank you. Commissioner Dorian.
No comment.
And I'll echo the same thing. We appreciate our employees. They're great. Let's go to Commissioner meeting schedule and start with Commissioner Nosen.
Okay. Tomorrow, a number of us head off to Washington DC to learn more about national politics and the impact on counties and county commissioners. So the official meeting is actually on Thursday, the 3rd. I also have a MAC finance meeting on Friday, which I will be calling in for. I think the timing on that is going to work out. That starts at 10 o'clock. Finance committee will meet on the 8th at 1:30. And we do have a countywide managers meeting coming up, I think. Is that right? On the 9th at 3 o'clock. MAC environmental meeting in Lansing. I will be going to that on the 11th. And that's all I have.
Thank you. Commissioner Snyder.
This afternoon, I have the Four Lakes Task Force meeting, and I'm also excited to be able to go to DC. And these have already been messed. The 8th, I have Geneva Township and Edenville Township. The 9th, Wixom Lake and Jerome Township. On the 14th is the Village of Sanford and a Sanford Lake Association meeting. And that is all. Thank you.
Thank you. Commissioner Glazer.
Turns out
Thank
he's
you.
not here.
I put my head down for a second. I almost made it through the whole meeting.
I was almost going to speak from.
I'm looking down. Commissioner Twilliger.
Yes, this afternoon I have continued Pinecrest negotiations at 1 o'clock tomorrow. I will be flying out to Washington with my fellow commissioners. Looking forward to that and looking forward to reporting back what we learn. And next week on Wednesday, I have Midland Township. Thursday, I have on the 10th, Drug Court, Pinecrest, and additional Pinecrest negotiation, unless we complete negotiations today. And then next, on the Monday, the 14th, both Ingersoll and Mount Haley Townships. Thank you.
Thank you. Commissioner Geisler.
On Tuesday, October 8th, the executive committee will meet in this room at 9 o'clock.
Thank you. Commissioner Dorian.
Admin?
Pardon?
A&O meet?
A&O, no, executive committee.
Also.
Yes, A&O would be in the afternoon at
Okay.
2:30. When it's time to go to the dentist.
Stop.
Commissioner Dorian.
I will not be going to the Washington DC with my fellow commissioners because I live that life every single day. I will, however, be subbing for Jeanette at Local Emergency Planning Committee on Thursday the 3rd at 1:15 at the Law Enforcement Center. Human Services meeting is scheduled for 2 o'clock on the 7th, Monday the 7th, in the first floor conference room, and that is all I have.
Thank you. And believe it or not, I've got a 2-week stretch where I have nothing to announce. So at this point, I take a motion.
Move to adjourn.
Support.
All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
This meeting is adjourned until Tuesday, October 8th, 2019 at 9 a.m. to meet in an executive session and for the committees to resume their duties. Thank you, everybody. Have a wonderful day. Don't get a sunburn.